What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to another very exciting banger of a transfer news episode on my channel. Please guys, let me know in the comments below, who do you want Liverpool to sign in the January transfer window? Which centre back or any other player do you want Liverpool to go all out for? And this video's main topic is that many journalists are saying that Liverpool are the front runners, the favorites to sign Thiago Upamecano, because he will leave RB Leipzig either in January or next summer. That has been confirmed by some journalists, and in this video we will also talk about Wijnaldum's potential contract extension, some injury news on Thiago and many other Liverpool related news. So if you are excited about this, leave a like and let's get into it. So Liverpool's hopes of signing Upamecano, who is just 22 years old, he's getting closer and closer to being a world-class centre-back in his prime, but he's not there yet. Liverpool received a major boost as according to a journalist, he will definitely leave RB Leipzig next summer, maybe even earlier. And there is a sense that Upamecano's new deal last summer would only postpone rather than prevent an inevitable exit from Leipzig. And such speculation has been backed up by Bild journalist Jan-Åge Fjørtoft, who actually wrote this: Upamecano will leave Leipzig next summer. Bayern Munich are interested, but they have to wait on David Alaba and whether he extends his contract. Liverpool, Manchester United and Manchester City are also following Upamecano closely, according to the journalist. And he left the door open for a potential transfer because Upamecano said this in September: for the moment I am with Leipzig, but it is true that I was able to talk to certain clubs and discuss my future transfer with certain clubs. As I said, for now I am focused on Leipzig and I will continue to play for Leipzig, and then we will see what the future holds. You never know what can happen in a football season. So Upamecano is even hinting here in this interview that he might leave as early as in the January transfer window, which would be fantastic news for Liverpool because Upamecano is just 22 years old. He is part of a Leipzig team who is regularly challenging for the Bundesliga title, and he also last year went to the Champions League semi-finals. He's pretty experienced, he's not too injury prone, he's built like a tank, really solid, tall, very muscular, very well built physically, very good centre back. And also with age, as he gets more and more experience, he will only get better. At 22 he is still in the early parts of his career, so Liverpool could sign Upamecano and he could play for Liverpool for the next 10 years. But even if the Liverpool decide to sell him in 5, 6, 7 years, we could more than recoup the transfer fee that we pay for Upamecano, because Upamecano has a release clause. I think his release clause is actually something like close to like 40-45 million, not the 50-60 that I mentioned previously. So if Liverpool pay a premium, and maybe if we pay like 45-50 million in January, we could get him earlier than expected. Leipzig could get a little bit more profit on his transfer fee, on his release clause, and this is why Upamecano signed a new contract. So there is a release clause, which is a pretty low release clause. I'm hearing it's like 37-38 million. It's that you never 100% know what the release clause is, but you can probably hazard a guess with the journalists saying that it's close to 40 million pounds. And if Upamecano is to leave Leipzig in January, Liverpool just have to pay another 5 million to convince them to sell Upamecano in January. And then I think Liverpool would solve a lot of their defensive injury problems with signing a very experienced new centre-back. And very well respected Italian journalist Fabrizio Romano reported that Liverpool were offered the chance to sign Argentina free agent centre-back Ezequiel Garay on a free transfer, given the former Valencia stalwart is of course a free agent. He can sign for anyone, even outside of the transfer window, and he is 34 years old. But Liverpool, according to Romano, actually passed up on the chance to sign him probably because of his age and because he never played in the Premier League. Garay is a bit of a journeyman with his longest stint coming at a club from 2016 to 2020, where he represented Valencia, making 114 appearances, but otherwise he always moved on after 1 or 2 years at every club that he has been at. And Garay isn't the type of player Jurgen Klopp would be overly interested in, with Liverpool more likely to give either Reece Williams or Billy Koumetio or Nathaniel Phillips a chance. Reece Williams played in midweek against Atalanta, and I think either Phillips or Williams will start if either Fabinho or Matip gets injured. And of course we have to wait until January to sign a new centre-back because Garay is just not on the table for Liverpool. I don't think that we will go in for him, and Romano said the same as well. And Ian Doyle, a journalist with a good connection to Liverpool, offered an update on Thiago. This is what he said: Thiago's injury was worse than Liverpool had initially thought. There was never any chance of him appearing against Leicester or Atalanta, and when we see him back in training, it will take probably a good week for Thiago to get up to speed and to get ready. So he will probably miss, almost 100% miss the Brighton game, and maybe he will miss the Ajax game as well. But after that, against Wolves, he might be back, and I really hope that Thiago can be back, because it's such a wretched luck that he started his Liverpool career absolutely on fire. He was brilliant against Chelsea, brilliant against Everton, and then he gets a 2-month injury, at least 2 months injury, and with Naby Keita also injured and Oxlade-Chamberlain as well, it is such a welcome news that Jordan Henderson is now back in full training and he is back in contention for the Brighton-Liverpool game on Saturday lunchtime. And James Pearce finally expanded on exactly why Wijnaldum hasn't agreed a new contract at Liverpool. This is what he said. He believes, Wijnaldum, that he merits a contract which reflects his level of contribution and his status at the football club. So far, that hasn't been put on the table in front of him, so he intends to consider his options very carefully. Wijnaldum's attitude has been impeccable despite the ongoing uncertainty, and there is certainly no chance of Wijnaldum being sold in January. But with every passing week, the chances of Wijnaldum staying on Merseyside beyond this season recede and get lower and lower. On his return to the club after the September internationals, Wijnaldum held contract talks with Jurgen Klopp and made it clear that he was fully committed for the season and he's happy to stay put at least until the end of the contract. That was all Jurgen Klopp wanted to hear. Their relationship remains strong. Not the contract talks, but he held talks with Jurgen Klopp. That's what I meant to say. And I think Wijnaldum deserves a contract. And he's probably right that he should earn as much as a player like Jordan Henderson, because Wijnaldum has contributed to Liverpool as much as Jordan Henderson since Wijnaldum is at the club. So I don't think that it's right that somebody like James Milner or Henderson earns like almost twice as much as Wijnaldum. Do you think that's right? That's fair? I certainly don't think so. But it's Liverpool's decision whether they offer him a big enough contract. So it's going to be interesting how this pans out. And earlier we reported that the Midtjylland-Liverpool game could be played in Dortmund. But now James Pearce revealed that Liverpool's Champions League game against Midtjylland will take place in Denmark because travel restrictions have been eased and by the UK government and also by Denmark, I think. And there was talk of the game being switched to Dortmund, which would have been such a sentimental thing for Jurgen Klopp, going back to his old ground, his old stadium, where he was manager for 7 years. But now I think it's better for Midtjylland to play at home because they don't have to travel to another country, which increases the risk of getting players infected, and that's never good in such times. And Jurgen Klopp talked about Jordan Henderson's fitness. Hendo trained yesterday, parts of team training, and then had his individual session, so we have to see what we do with that. For all the other players who played against Atalanta, they are still in recovery, so that's how it is when you have only these few days in between. We have to make late decisions, so if you were to ask me now what will be the lineup and I was in a mood to tell you, I couldn't. I will make this decision as late as possible because I have to wait until the medical department tells me who looks like ready for the game and who is not. That and it looks like from now on we have another 25.5 hours to make sure that we bring the fittest and freshest players on the pitch. And that's the problem, like Liverpool are really walking on a tightrope with 7 first-team players out injured. I really hope that we can get as many back fit as soon as possible. And Neco Williams also spoke out and he said that with a team like Liverpool, we are fighting to win trophies and to do the best we can. At the moment, I would say we are one of the best teams in the world. So to make sure we bounce back at Brighton and get the result that we want is a massive part of this team. With the lads we have around us and the staff and everyone around us, I think it is possible to bounce back in the way we want to. We can prove to people that we can bounce back and get the win. We are playing 2 games a week, so it's literally play, recover, and so on. You don't really have time to dwell on games that you lose. I think the main focus now is to put the Atalanta game to the side, put it to bed, and focus on the next game. I think that's what has been the main part of our success in recent years, is putting the bad games away to bed, focusing on the next game, doing what we do and getting the wins. Whenever you lose a game, you are desperate to play the next game and prove to people that we can put it right. I think that is one of the main things with the lads we have got now. As soon as we lose a game, we just want to play the next game to win and keep carrying on that success. Brighton have a few quick players and they are a top side, but I think all focus is now on that game and all the boys are going to give everything. I think if we play how we do and play our football, then for sure we will get the result and the win. And Adam Lallana will be a familiar face at Brighton. The first day I went up to Manwood, Lallana was there talking to me, Neco Williams said, and giving me advice. With Adam, he's a top athlete, a top player. When my breakout season came, he helped me massively. Adam would be a leader on the team and he would be the first one to tell you if you do something bad or give the ball away. He would be the first one on you. But if you do something right or do something well, he would be the first one to say well done and applaud you. Having someone like him in the team was incredible and he massively made me comfortable in the team. For me, I would say he's one of the best trainers I've ever trained with and played with. He's a top athlete, and when we used to do training, in my opinion, he was the best trainer every single day. They are a top side, Brighton, and I'm sure whoever they put in, they're going to have good players. We will do our best to try and get the win, and we will play our football. The team we have now, the main focus if we lose the game is to then go on and win the next game. That's all on our minds. There's that many games coming thick and fast with 2 games a week. You don't really have time to dwell on losses. Once you have played the game, I think it's important to put it aside and focus on the next one. Our main success is not dwelling on losses and focusing on winning. That's all that we have in our heads, really. Just winning games and constantly getting the wins. It doesn't matter if you are playing 1 game every 2 weeks or 2 games a week. One of the main parts of football is recovery. Obviously, we are not playing 2 games a week, so recovery is massive. All the little things help. That's with the food you eat, the sleep, going into the physio room, getting a massage or whatever you need of them, the ice baths, the full sessions, just everything to try to help you rebuild your muscle back and be prepared for the next game. What a brilliant interview by Neco Williams, and I really wish him all the success, and I really hope that he can become as good as Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think that would be a magnificent achievement. And this is big news. Andy Robertson is setting up a charity which he has been worked on for 4 or 5 years with his fiancée, and I think this interview that he has given is absolutely magnificent about that. He said this: I thought about this for 4 or 5 years now, talked it through so much with my fiancée Rachel. It's something we have both been passionate about, but it's been a hard thing for me to do. Anyone who knows me knows I try to stay as normal as possible, be the guy I've always been, but it's hard to be in abnormal circumstances. I've come to realize my voice carries a lot further now than the normal guy I think I am. If I stand on a stage now, kids especially will listen to me more than someone in a normal job. And for me, that was hard to accept at first. In my head, if people have something of value to say, it doesn't matter what they do or whether they play football. But that's the world we live in. I've come to accept that. You know what? My voice can carry a long way. And if you can use it to get positive messages across to kids in Scotland and around the UK, then that's what I will do. There's no better time to do it when I'm than when I'm at Liverpool or when I'm Scotland captain and people potentially looking up to me. What a chance to use that for the greater good. And he has found a good relationship with an inspirational man and the founder and the chief executive, David Duke, of Street Soccer Scotland, the charity aimed at using football to provide hope and opportunity for the socially disadvantaged. And this is what Robertson said about him. He's an incredible guy, a force of nature, and I'm proud to have him with our charity. I mean, I can maybe speak to someone who is struggling and say, there's a better life out there for you. And the answer might be, it's easy for you to say, but to have David by my side as living proof, where he can say, 15 years ago I was homeless. I'm lucky though, I've got some fantastic people helping me with AR26, that will be his charity name, Andy Robertson 26, his shirt number. And yeah, the name was my idea. Some people use their name or number for commercial stuff, and that's absolutely great. The bigger they are, the more it makes sense. But I want AR26 to be something everyone can relate to when it comes to my identity. I want it to be a success. I'm lucky, I'm happy with my family, and we are financially secure for hopefully the rest of our lives, but there's some guilt associated with that privilege, and I think it's important to give back to the community, and for me that means starting at home in Scotland. And I think this is a brilliant idea by Robertson, and I really wish him all the success about his charity, and really hope that it goes a long way in helping young people in Scotland and in the UK in their lives. So good luck with your charity, Andy Robertson, and thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.